The United States Congress failed to pass a spending bill on Tuesday, and that means that the federal government is now in a shutdown. So what does that mean for ham radio activities like Parks on the Air? I'm going to break that down today. Welcome back to Ham Radio HQ. With the federal government shutdown now underway, I saw a great question pop up on Facebook. And that question was, will Parks on the Air activations at federally managed sites like National Park Services sites be affected? So today I just want to take a look at what the U.S. Department of the Interior says and what the POTA Rulebook says, and we're going to tie both of those together. So just a quick disclaimer before we get started, this is not legal advice. If you go to a park and there's signs that say the park is closed or the gates are closed, that means it is closed. Do not try to sneak in, always play it safe, and if the park is closed, go home or find another park and come back and activate the park on a different day. So first of all, what does it mean when the government shuts down? Every year, Congress has to pass funding bills to keep agencies like the National Park Service running. And if Congress does not pass those funding bills, non-essential federal employees are furloughed and many services grind to a halt. And for parks, that usually means visitor centers being closed, gates being locked, park rangers being furloughed, and trash, bathrooms, and maintenance services being shut down as well. So basically, when a shutdown of the federal government occurs, that means many of the national parks are closed as well. So here is what the U.S. Department of the Interior has to say on their website. In the event of a lapse in government appropriations, most national parks will be closed completely to public access. Gates will be locked, visitor centers closed, and thousands of park rangers furloughed. But there's some nuance. Some areas that can't really be closed off, like trails, roads, campgrounds, or memorials, may stay physically accessible. For example, the National Mall in Washington, D.C. stays open, even if facilities like bathrooms and visitor centers shut down. So you may still be able to get into some parks, just don't expect normal services. Now let's connect what the U.S. Department of the Interior says to the POTA Rulebook. In the Parks on the Air Rulebook, under the Activation, Location, and Access section, it says, parks must be on the POTA list and open to the public. A park is closed if the agency says it's closed or public access is prohibited. Seasonal closures of certain areas are fine as long as there's still legal public access to part of the park. So here's the bottom line. If the park is physically open and public access is legal, then you can activate it. If the gates are locked or the park is officially closed, then the park is ineligible to activate until it reopens. But also there's just one more thing that I wanted to mention as well. If a park is closed and there is a publicly accessible area within park boundaries but not beyond closed gates, then the park may possibly still be eligible. But if their official website or social media says that the park is closed, and the park is closed and it is still ineligible. Either way, while we're going through this government shutdown, it's probably best just to check ahead, check the National Park Service website, and check the social media pages for that specific park. Again, just make sure that if the park is closed, you do not try to enter, otherwise you could be trespassing, and not only is that illegal, but it is also against the Parks on the Air rules. So lastly, just to kind of wrap things up, here's a couple examples. The National Mall, because it doesn't necessarily have controlled access and it's always open 24/7, it would still be eligible. A national park like Yellowstone, if the gates are locked, then the park is closed and it is not eligible. And kind of like the National Mall, a National Park Service trail that does not have controlled access and is always open would still be eligible as long as there are no gates or anything that says that it is closed. And then also I just wanted to mention this real quick too. I tried to do some digging and see about places like national wildlife refuges, like U.S. Fish and Wildlife areas. I couldn't find any definitive answer on that. So I'm going to do a little bit more digging on that. Always just best to play it safe and check their website, check their social media, and see if those sites are affected by this shutdown. And also, even with national parks being closed and other federal sites also being affected, don't forget to get out and enjoy your state parks and other types of parks that are in the Parks on the Air database as well. Anything that is not a federally managed park should be still open to activate. So go spend some times out there as well. So during the shutdown, it may be a little bit inconvenient to not be able to activate at federally managed sites, but POTA activations will still be possible. You'll just need to plan ahead, check for closures, and be flexible. So I'd like to hear from you. What do you think about these park closures due to the government shutdown? Does this government shutdown change any of your plans that are coming up for Parks on the Air activations? Let me know down in the comments section below. And if you found this video to be helpful, I would greatly appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you get notified when I upload new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and until next time, 73.